So 2 outs, nobody on base for the Dogs at the top of the first in game 1 of the doubleheader, and Lukey will settle back in. He's a Bulldog senior. He's hit a home run and 8 doubles this season, leads the team in runs batted in with 31, and he lines a pitch into right center field for the first hit of the series. And for Lukey, his 38th hit. He had 28 hits in 2015 and 16 combined. Of course, this year he's getting to play a whole lot more baseball as the Dogs are playing their 32nd game. Meadows only pitched 3 innings against Jeff Davis in the 2 games. He did not start the the Thursday game played here because he pitched 3 innings in relief in the 9-inning game. And DR throws a fastball that missed ball 1. But he threw 51 pitches against the Yellowjackets and gave up 5 hits and 3 runs, and none were earned. He struck out 4 and didn't walk anybody. Here's a pitch, bunted. DR will play it, and he's going to throw to first for an easy out. He thought about going to second, took a little peek that way, but Foster was well on his way to second base, and DR made the right decision to get the out, 1 down, and a runner in scoring position for Jeff Davis. And now DR will have to pitch around that against Seth Graham, who went 1 for 5 with a strikeout against the Dogs in game 1 and 2 for 3 with an RBI in game 2. DR lifetime has struck out 148 batters and walked only 65. He is 3-0 in the postseason. 3-2 pitch. There's that nasty slider called strike 3. That is his definitive out pitch. Now 2 down. And here's a real trouble spot for the Bulldogs, and he's a former Dog, and that's Hogan White. Played his freshman season with the Dogs. Wears number 72 in this game in the home uniform. Went 1 for 3 in Lions with a walk and 2 for 2 with a double and 3 runs batted in, and the game played here. Left-handed hitter. First pitch to Hogan, check swing, not much of a swing, and a strike. Fooled by the pitch, probably a changeup. So this should be very interesting. DR and Hogan got a lot of playing time as Bulldog freshmen. They played together for many years at All-Stars and Rec Ball. 0-1 pitch is low, 1 ball, 1 strike. But of course, they had not seen each other on the field in 2 seasons when the Bulldogs went up to AAA and played in Region 1. And of course, Jeff Davis stayed down in AA, and now they're back in the same region. 1-1 is tapped over to the shortstop, Lane Adams. Nice hop. He'll throw to first base. There's your 3rd out, and DR Meadows walked the leadoff guy on 4 pitches, but after the bunt, he stranded him at second base on a strikeout, and of course the ground out to the shortstop. So we played 1 inning. Great baseball. No score between the Dogs and the Yellowjackets on Y101. So everybody's here. 3-2 pitch. Off the plate, ball 4, as Brock Harrison will walk to lead off the top of the 2nd inning. He walks for the 16th time.
There's Mr. Waller out there. Coach Harrington said to tell you.
There's a chopper over the 3rd baseman into left field, and the Bulldogs have runners on 1st and 2nd. On the Brandon Hilton base hit, his 18th of the season, so a threat for the Dogs here at the top of the 2nd. Runners on 1st and 2nd for an excellent bunter at Cole Graham. So, Cassie, when you played softball and you had this situation 1st and 2nd and nobody out, did teams like to bunt?
Sometimes, Barney. It just depends on what they think they can do.
Well, Cole Graham is the first Bulldog to get down a bunt this season. The Dogs had gone 0 for 16 when he finally laid one down for Toombs County in a game at Screven. So we'll see what Brian Fitzgerald does in this situation. He's showing the bunt. Here's a pitch from Sellers, and it's low. McEachin having to reach down to the ground to catch that ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Graham hitting .282 during the season, .235 during the postseason. But, of course, he had the big base hit in Game 2 in the 8th inning to drive in the game winner with the bases juiced. Showing the bunt once again. Oh, the pitch is high, and he fouls it off left side, taking 1 big hop over toward the Bulldog dugout. So to count 1 ball and 1 strike. That was an impossible pitch to bunt. He, I guess, should have just pulled the bat away. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Dogs on 1st and 2nd on a Brock Harrison walk and a Brandon Hilton single. And here comes a 1-1 pitch, and he bunts it successfully to the pitcher. He's going to turn, but he has only one play, and Sellers throws to first. One down, and their runners at second and third.
Yes, the Toombs County people got the message.
There's a pitch getting away. The Bulldogs will score the first one of the game. Brock Harrison coming home and touching the plate. 1-0 Dogs. Runner down to third. And he played in 4 Super Bowls, and he never won one, as Ogilvie is out in front of this one, and he hits it up high in the air to left field. Helton into foul territory, reaching out, making the catch, and colliding with that little short wall. He caught it and held on to it. 1 down. Great catch by Brandon Helton. 1 ball, 2 strikes. DR sitting on 70 strikeouts this season and 148 for his career. Balkin went 2 for 4 against the Bulldogs first game, and he swings and misses, strike 3. So now DR has 71 Ks on the season. First pitch, and he hits it up high in the air, deep to left center field. Lukey going back to the fence, and it's off the fence. Lukey slid down. Runner coming to third. He has the ball, and he's throwing it all the way. Cut off by Bryce DeLoach, and he throws to the dish and late. And a run scores on that deep double hit by McEachin to tie the game at 1 with 2 down. DR delivers. Ball's popped up in the air. Lane Adams, the shortstop, calling for it. He's out on the grass, and he snags it. That's the 3rd out. So Josh McEachin with a big double with 2 down to tie the ball game. And for the 2nd straight inning, the Yellowjackets leave a runner at second base. 1-1 after 2 as we take a break on Y101. If Elbert County makes it, I guess it would be a possibility they could play up in Rome, but that's a long way from here, and it's actually a long way from Elbert County. 3-1. There's ball 4 to DR. So Meadows walking. He's on base for the Dogs. 1 ball, 1 strike. McBride bunting, gets it down, and Sellers will tag him up on the first base line for the out. So good job there by Dalton McBride, and that'll bring up George Lukey, the leading RBI man on the team. Why not? Both teams are in the Final Four. You got 3 teams from Region 2 in the Final Four. There's ball 4 to Lane, so he walks for the 20th time. And their runners on first and third, and a lot of times Coach Fitzgerald will get very creative in a situation like this, up against the little wall over there down the left field line. 3-0. Take side. No, it hit him. He didn't have a chance to take that when bases are loaded. And that'll bring up Helton. Sellers gets a sign from McEachin. He's winding. Here's a 1-1 pitch, and Brandon swings and hits it up high into the air into foul territory on the left field side. It's caught by Ogilvie for out number 3, and the Bulldogs will lead the bases loaded in the top of the 3rd inning on 2 walks and a hit batsman. So Jeff Davis set the table for the Dogs, and they did not come up with a big hit. Still 1-1 going to the bottom half of the 3rd inning on Y101. Cole Graham catching both games today. Caught both games in the heat last week at Dodge. Brock Harrison, the 3rd baseman. Lane Adams playing short in game 1. He'll pitch game 2. There's a big breaking ball called strike 3. DR with his 3rd strikeout of the ball game brings up Chandler Davenport. First pitch, swings and lines it over the head of Lane Adams into the gap in left center field. That's going to make it all the way to the warning track. He stumbled a little, but Davenport able to get to second base, standing with a double. Now he's back in. Holds his back kind of low, right out of her home plate. Probably be easy to hit him in the wrist. Pitch, and he swings and he hits it by Bryce DeLoach down the right field line. That's going to score a run. The Yellowjackets take the lead. Here's a throw to second base from Dalton McBride offline, and that's a double for Graham and an RBI. He just got it to hop over Bryce DeLoach, who's an excellent fielder, because remember, he's been a shortstop basically his whole career, but he's playing first, and he can make plays on tough grounders that probably other first basemen cannot. But that was a wicked hop, so the Yellowjackets taking the lead on back-to-back doubles. The wind's still blowing from right field to left, like it's coming in from the coast. DR's ready. Here's his pitch. And it's bounced over to the second baseman, Noah Anderson. Tough hop, and it bounces into right center field. Runner coming around third. Here's the throw from Lukey to the dish. Cole Graham with a tag. He got him. What a throw, and what a close play at the dish. Lukey throwing that ball from shallow right center field on a line to home plate. And the Yellowjacket fans are booing the home plate umpire. Cole Graham with the sign, and DR working quickly. Delivers a 2-2 pitch. Swing and a missed strike 3. DR strikes out his fourth batter of the game and his second of the inning, but the Yellowjackets on back-to-back doubles by Chandler Davenport and Seth Graham score a run to take their first lead of the series. It's 2-1 as we go to the fourth inning and take a break on Y101. In the playoffs, 2 for 3 against Laney, 1 for 1 against Laney in Game 2. He ended that 3-inning game with a triple, the first of his career, and he lines this one into right field, and it sinks in for a base hit. Here's a throw to first base, and he is just safe on the throw from Alex Sanders. So the Bulldogs with their third hit, and Martin with his 25th hit of his junior season and the 12th during the postseason. Pitch is inside. 3 balls and 1 strike on DR. DR's own base percentage coming into the series at .504. It's been higher. It was .648 last year. .610 as a freshman. There's a strike, and we got a full count. With 2 downs, Noah Anderson will be running on the pitch. DR's settling in. Sellers come set. Anderson going. Here's the pitch, and DR lines it into left field for a base hit. His 102nd hit of his career. Runners on first and second, and 2 down for Dalton McBride. 3-1 pitch. Ball 4, and the bases are loaded for the second straight inning with 2 down for the Dogs. And here is their best RBI man. I mentioned Lukey had a base hit, first time up, grounded out to the shortstop. Balcom his second time up. So he's swinging unless that pitch is out of the zone. 3-1. It is ball 4, and the game is tied as Lukey gets an easy RBI, his 32nd of his career on the bases loaded walk. Game tied at 2 in the top of the 4th with the bases loaded and 2 down. Lane is 0 for 1 with a fly ball to center field and a walk today, and he chops it over to the shortstop. No, the pitcher will pick it up, run to the bag, and he is safe, and a run's going to score. Nobody was covering third. Rush tried to beat him to the bag and did not. That ball did not get to the shortstop because Rush cut in front of the shortstop, Balcom, and the Dogs have the lead at 3-2 on a kind of a strange play right there. He had nobody to throw to, so he tried to run him down. And Lane Adams gets it done somehow, some way to put the Dogs on top. Brock steps out. Now back in. Will he jump on a fastball in the zone if he sees it? He's that kind of hitter. He does. Fouls it off. Out of play, 3-2. He's one of those guys that when the ball hits the bat, it sometimes travels real well. That's why at one point in time this season, half of his hits were doubles. He's hit 8 doubles this season. There's a call, strike 3. He thought it was ball 4. The Dogs had the runner breaking in, and they're going to leave the bases loaded again. But this time they scored 2, and the Dogs are back on top at 3-2, plus they knocked the starting pitcher out of the ball game. So the Dogs are leading. We'll take a break. You're listening to Dog Baseball on Y101. He'll be pitching game 2. DR will be at shortstop in game 2. DR throws a strike on the inside edge, 1-1. Former Bulldog head basketball coach Donnie Arrington is here today. Of course, he's the current head coach of the Yellowjackets. He's standing behind Benny Dees. Are they discussing basketball or baseball? There's a ball hit up high in the air to Helton. He comes in, drifts off to his right, and now back to his left to make the catch. A lot of people don't know this because when you think of Benny Dees, my former broadcasting partner on Dog Football, you think basketball, 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 but he was actually a better baseball player than a basketball player. He played both sports at Wyoming. And, of course, at one point in time, he was the head coach of Wyoming. And actually made the cover of Sports Illustrated. And you can still find that article on the World Wide Web written by Curry Kirkpatrick. Swing and a miss by Balcom, strike one. It's got a lot of Benny quotes in there. Meadows with a sub-1 earned run average coming into this game for the entire season. A little over 1 for the postseason. Ball is popped up in the air. Lane Adams, the shortstop, is on the dirt, backing up to the outside cut, onto the grass, drifting around as the wind was playing with that ball. And he reaches out and makes a one-handed catch, 2 down. 2-0. Meadows pitch. Line into left field. Helton going back, still running and going and reaching out. He didn't catch it. It bounces up against the wall. Runner coming to third. Coach Glass will wave him. Here's a throw. Trickling left side near the third base bag. The game is tied. On a 2-out hit by the number 9 hitter, Alex Sanders. Scorecard. Here's Graham, the right-handed hitter. Jumps on the first pitch. Pops it up in the air. The shortstop, Lane Adams, out into the grass. He waves off Brandon Helton. He catches it. That's a big third out. So the Yellowjackets lead the bases loaded but score a run on the RBI double by Sanders. And they had only 1 hit in the inning. And the game is tied at 3 as we go to the 5th inning in Game 1 of the best of 3 on Y101. Line score for the Dogs, 3-3-1. And for the Yellowjackets, 3-5-0. D.R. Meadows has not had an easy inning against the Yellowjackets today. Nothing close to a 3-up, 3-down. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. I guess his easiest frame was the first. He walked the first guy, sacrifice bunt, strikeout, ground out to the shortstop. Left a runner at second. And the 1-1 pitch. Bunted. Cole Graham has the ball. He's throwing to second. Bulldogs got him. Good, accurate throw from Cole Graham to the shortstop, Lane Adams. 1 down as they get the lead man. 2 balls and 1 strike on Cody Ogilvy. And, of course, these 2 guys played during the summer on the same team. Cody was a pitcher. DR was a shortstop. And the 2-1 pitch with a runner going. Here's a throw from Cole Graham. They got a chance to get him, and they do easily on the tag by Noah Anderson. Great throw from Cole Graham. He's thrown out 2 in this frame. Threw 1 out on a bunt and 1 out stealing. Check swing. Did he go around? Yes, he did. And Cole Graham will tag him out. Or perhaps not. He'll throw to first base and complete the play. I thought he got him on the tag. Well, that ended up being an easy inning for DR, but thanks to Cole Graham, 2 throws and a strikeout. And now we're going to the 6th inning in a game tied at 3 on Y101. Top of the Bulldog order. And here comes DR Meadows, Dalton McBride, and George Lukey. DR 1 for 2 with a fly ball to center, a walk and a single. First pitch from Rush to DR. Swings and hits it up high in the air, deep to left center field. This ball is carrying all the way to the fence and the warning track, and DR racing to second base with a dog double. So DR crushes 1. And he's standing at second with his 9th double of the season, the 23rd of his Bulldog career. This is what has separated the Bulldogs from how they performed earlier in the season and how they're doing right now during their 12-game winning streak, is what they're doing with 2 strikes. And we'll see if McBride can come up with a quality at bat with 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. Swings and hits it to the third baseman. He's going to throw to first base and get him. What a play by the third baseman, Seth Graham, diving for that ball. I thought maybe he caught it on the fly. I guess it one-hopped. And he was able to throw to first base, and Dalton McBride was called out. He's going to go back to the bag. Coach Fitzgerald is walking toward the first base umpire. By the way, we got 4 umps working this game. Here's a stretch by Ross Rush. Here's the pitch. And he lines it into left center field, in for a base hit. D.R. Meadows rounding third. He's coming to the dish. Here comes the throw, and D.R. slides in head first. Bulldogs take the lead. D.R. flying around that third baseline, beating the throw. Dogs on top, 4-3, top of the sixth. And George Lukey does it again. His second run batted into the game, the 33rd of his senior season. And his second hit of the ball game. He's 2 for 3. Lane with 16 runs batted in this season with a triple and 9 doubles. He'd only hit 2 doubles coming into this season lifetime. As he's shown more power, pitches low, 2-1, and he's given a lot of credit for his improved pitching and power, hitting wise, to being a football player and those mandatory weightlifting sessions. 3-1 on Lane. Here's the pitch. Hits it deep to right center field. And Sanders dives. He didn't get it. The ball's bouncing to the warning track. The Dogs are going to score a run. And Lane Adams is at second base with an RBI double. George Lukey touching home. And the Dogs have a 2-run lead in the top of the 6th inning as Lane crushes a ball into right center field. And he hits his 10th double of his senior season. He's now struck out 20 times this season. It brings up Brandon Helton. The senior started off his big game today with a single, then a fly ball to left, and a walk to open up the 5th. He's made a great catch in this game, catching a ball in which he actually hit the fence, and he's out in front of this one, hits it deep to left side, and that's going to bounce in off the fence for a double. That's going to score another Bulldog run. Here comes Helton to second base, standing with his 2-bagger. Wow, he crushed that ball. Hits his 4th double, drives in his 5th run. And the Dogs lead 6-3, a 3-run top of the 6th. Balcom is 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. Defensively for the Dogs, Brock Harrison at third, Lane Adams at short, Noah Anderson at second, Bryce DeLoach at first, and Cole Graham catching. With Brandon Helton in left field, George Lukey in center field, and Dalton McBride in right. In Hazelhurst today with just about everybody from Lions and Hazelhurst here. It's almost not an exaggeration. Ball's chopped over to Brock Harrison, makes the play on the line, throws to first base, and did not get him. That would have been a huge big league play had he. Had to wait on the chopper and had a throw from foul territory near the third base bag all the way across the diamond to Bryce DeLoach. He did not have a chance. That's a hit. And Coach Fitzgerald has finished his conversation on the hill. All the infielders listening in. Sanders popped it up to the shortstop, Lane Adams, and hit the deep double in the 4th inning to drive in a run. (6-3) Bulldogs, bottom half of the 6th. DR from the stretch. Delivers his first pitch, chopped over to Lane Adams. And he can't get it. It takes a terrible bounce, goes into center field, gets by Lukey. That's going to score 1 Yellow Jacket. That's going to score 2 Yellow Jackets. Sanders sliding into third. And now it's a 1-run game with a tying runner at third. Oh, that just took a terrible hop for Lane because the last hop was not even a hop. And then somehow, some way, with Lukey charging in from center field, the ball got by him. Now, 1-1 was going to score for sure, but when that ball got by Lukey, another run scored. And now suddenly the 3-run lead is down to 1. And here's the top of the order. Nobody out, runner at third. Meadows winding with his 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So he's got a half a dozen Ks. That was a big one, but he needs one more. Of course, both bleachers are full. The chairs are like 6 deep behind home plate. The ball's hit up in the air into right center field. Over comes Dalton McBride diving. He didn't catch it. A run's going to score as he's going to throw it, and it's cut off by Bryce DeLoach. And so the game is tied. Chandler Davenport drives in his first run of the game. It is 6-6. And Graham will settle in facing D.R. Meadows. Infield looking for a double play. DR comes set. Here's the pitch. And he jammed, and the ball's hit down the left field line. Rolling. Runners will be at second and third as Brandon Helton tosses it into his cutoff man, Lane Adams, up the third base line. Graham with a second double. Now the Yellowjackets with one down have a chance to take the lead again. Runners on second and third. 6-6 ball game, one down. Bottom half of the sixth, and Hogan is trying to put his team up against his former team. Martin balked in a run. I don't know what happened there. He was winding and he didn't come through and throw the ball, and the Yellowjackets take the lead. What happened? Maybe frustrating at times. Pitch bounces away and they're going to score another run. It is 8-6 Yellowjackets. They're on a 12-game winning streak, but that certainly is in jeopardy now. 3-1 pitch, swing and a miss. So Martin coming back. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And the Dogs haven't lost a game since they lost a 9-inning game at Metter, when they fell to 2-7 in reaching games, and it looked like, boy, are they even going to make the playoffs? They even have a chance. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 down. And here comes the 9th batter of the inning for the Yellowjackets. 2-0 pitch. Hit left side. Chopper to Brock Harrison. The third baseman guns to first. Low, and it bounces away from Bryce DeLoach, and a run's going to score. And Ogilvie racing to second base as the Bulldogs will pick up the ball in foul territory down the right field line. And the Yellowjackets lead by 3, 9-6. Brock did a good job getting to the ball. It was a high chopper. Then he had to hustle up that throw to first base, and it bounced by Bryce DeLoach, who, of course, is a shortstop playing first. It's been a long ball game. It's been a long bottom half of the sixth. Roughly 24 minutes. And the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The Bulldogs will throw down to first to complete the strikeout, but the Yellowjackets have the biggest frame of this ball game. They score 6 in the bottom half of the sixth. They come from 3 down, and they lead by 3 going to the 7th in game 1 of the best of 3 as we take a break on Y101. I guarantee he's getting a take sign here. 3-1. And it's high ball 4. So the Dogs have a base runner. Top of the 7th. They need 3 to tie. Here's Martin Stevens. 0-2. DR swings and hits it into center field, and it drops in for a base hit. Runners on first and second. DR with 3 hits today. Otherwise, the Bulldogs are going to game 2, and he hits the ball bouncing off the pitcher, and this ball is going to roll over to the shortstop. Everybody's safe. Lukey gets his 3rd hit of the game. Hit it hard. Ogilvie tried to snag it, batted it down to the ground, and it bounced over toward Balcom at short to load up the bases for Lane Adams. So Lane 1 for 3, entered this series hitting .526 in the state playoffs. He has 34 hits this season, and he chops it over to the shortstop Balcom. He feels it, underhands it to second base, and the Yellowjackets come back and win game 1 with their 6th spot in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Meanwhile, the Bulldogs lead the bases loaded, and the Dogs lose 9-6 in game number 1. Very exciting game, kind of a strange game, especially the way it went in the 6th inning with the Dogs taking the lead by 3 and then yielding 6 in a game that was tight the whole way. And now we'll have about a 30-minute break and come back with game number 2. For the Bulldogs, DR Meadows with 3 hits, went 3 for 4 with a walk. George Lukey with 3 hits, 3 for 4 with a walk. Lane Adams with a base hit, a big double. Brandon Helton went 2 for 3 with a single, a double that drove in a run and a walk. And that was it for the Bulldogs. Oh, yeah, Martin Stevens had a base hit down to the 9 hole. So the Bulldogs lose game 1. And so for the first time in the postseason, they're down a game going to game number 2. They lose 9-6. We'll send it back to Y101 in just a moment. Thanks to Zorn & Sons Insurance for help in broadcasting Bulldog playoff baseball game on the road at Hazelhurst. Again, the final score in Game 1, Jeff Davis 9, Toombs County 6. Game 2 coming up shortly, and now back to Y101.